Why, greetings everybody, it's GleeCon, and I'm back again bringing you another episode of Lore of Warcraft, where we do two things. We experience everything in all of the games in person together, mostly so that we can see every single quest possible, every line of dialogue, how that looked to the players, and how it looks to us. We also read every piece of media out of the game as well, and we've been reading through our last episode, Warcraft Duraton, which is a prequel novel to the film novelization of the Warcraft movie. It's pretty good so far. So we finished Azshara on our last walkthrough with our Alliance character, and now we're gonna start Azshara on Horde. So stay a while and listen as we take Leek and Soul, our Tauren Shaman, mostly enhance, pretty decent amount of resto, very common combo. Take her into the world. Now we're in Felwood because that's where we left off. Felwood was the last zone that we did before Azshara, and we're going to have to take a peek at the spreadsheets here to see exactly where we go. So if we look at Azshara here, it does have a lot of Horde stuff. There are some quests seeping corruption that we will need to pick up in the Undercity, I suppose. Also, we have a some sort of payment thing, a delivery and payment that sends us to Thunderbluff, Orgrimmar, and Undercity as well. So maybe we go there and do that. Let's kind of take a peek at the Azshara map. That's stealing knowledge. That's the easy two. We look at Orgrimmar. Betrayed is actually this is part of it as well. That's a quest line for Azshara. Bone-bladed weapons, no. And then let's just see that. Taking back whatever at the Undercity. Let's look at that. That's seeping corruption. So that is this right there. Yeah. So basically, we have an impetus to go out here and start the zone. Land is right there, stealing knowledge. And then we also can do that one set of dual quests. We could, hypothetically, go up here and do Kim Jail Indeed. That's also not going to hurt us. And to be frank, we could go down here and do this part of the zone as well. We could do all of these before we go on the journeys around the world. So let's just do that. Let's hop in and fly.
Thrumka, adventurer.
Wrong person.
My mood is poor this day, so please, unless you can help me, I would prefer to be alone.
Oh, we also have 80, so we can turn in a stack of rune cloth. Think we did it in the Undercity already. Nope, we have not. So we need to, when we go to the Undercity, we need to hit up the stack there. Alright, so we've got plans and things to do. We're level 59. Getting close to our first on-camera 60. 183,000 XP to go. We're going to go to... Oh, we don't have the Azshara flight path, eh? Huh. Alright, well, if that's the case, should we just hearth and... If we hearth, we can leave Orgrimmar and kind of walk up the path. I think there's a path to Azshara. No, it kind of goes through Ashenvale. I guess we're going to Splinter Tree Post.
Where would you like to fly to?
I guess we've never gone into... Oh, I have to go to Orgrimmar first? Well, that's lame. Now I wish I hadn't done that. It's going to make me fly down to Orgrimmar, then back over. So this is now doo-doo that I shouldn't have done. We should have just hearthed. And if we abort, we're not going to stop until we land in Azshara. So, lame. Bad planning. Alright, so let's kind of peek. I've been doing Blasted Lands. Man, that zone is a freaking slog. A slog. This one's done. That's how short Azshara is for one faction. We are all set up on Azshara right here to do the next set. Excuse me. I'll at least spread these out. And we've got no quests currently. But the way it sort of works is, these two we know, we already did those. That's the killing of the satyrs and ghosts. It's completable by either faction. We have to go down to the little alliance base here to pick that up. It's just a very low, level 40-something quest. Just bam bam, do those two. They're one-timers, they don't lead to anything greater. Okay, Seeping Corruption, I do not remember, but it is a multiple parter out of Undercity. So if you look at it right here, it's going to be filling some empty vials among tide pools. I believe what you're doing is you get the vials, you bring them back to that person. Maybe you do something with them, and it says it's a 1, 2, 3, but it's really quick. You then test those vials because it's more of the Ungoro. I'm sorry, more of the Undercity. We are developing a master poison that really comes to a head at the Wrathgate scenario in Wrath of the Lich King. Oh yeah, let's see how our fishing is. We're at 280 on this account too, so fishing was something we needed to do on both these accounts. It is unfortunate and true. We need to do both. We need to do fishing on both. So if I remember, we can do some of that today. Or we can buy some bobbers or whatever, at least, from when we're in one of the capital cities, so we maybe won't get to it today. Stealing knowledge is what we're going to do. That sends us down to the beach, and it is going to pair up with these delivery quests. She'll give us those which have us delivering to the 3 capitals. And then we can also we can pick up a trade. There's a delivery mission as well inside Azshara. Kim Jail, the meeting with the master, that part. Those two are all going to happen together. And then there's the end that we did last time. It takes about a whole episode, maybe a whole episode plus, to do the 2 first Hydraxian Waterlords quests. So Betrayed, I can't exactly remember what that one's about. But yeah, I forgot. I'm now flying to Orgrimmar to fly back to the Splinter. I don't know why. This is terrible. So I'm gonna fly into Orgrimmar, even though I just flew above Splinter Tree Post. Why? To fly to Splinter Tree Post, it made me fly to Splinter Tree Post, pass it, and come back. Are you kidding me? How on God's green earth is that a thing? Like, that is just that's a broken flight path plan. I don't understand. My mind is truly baffled. All right, so planning wise and time wise, I think, like I said, we'll get in here, we'll do this quest. That'll take us a decent chunk. We'll pick up stealing knowledge. That won't be too bad. And that's gonna want to send us out and about the world, and we'll kind of have to make a choice. Picking up Kim Jail Indeed and getting those 2 quests done, that's not too bad. I don't think I'm going to come out here and mess with those quite yet. Those are too annoying. I guess we'll see where she sends us. I think they're going to be along the Naga areas. Yeah, so if you're curious about how the novel is going, if you don't really watch the novel episodes. So Warcraft Duraton, it's first of all, it's by Christy Golden, and she writes a lot of the World of Warcraft novels. In my opinion, through the novels we've read now, there are new people writing nowadays. She's my number 1. I have a first and second place. I can't remember the name of the second place guy. Let's try War of the Ancients. I think it's the guy that wrote War of the Ancients. Trilogy. Richard A. Knack. Yeah, that's who it is. So Richard A. Knack, I'd say, is my number 2. He's not quite as good as Christy Golden, but he's solid. He's also written a ton. But I believe Richard A. Knack is... I don't know if he's still writing. He wrote the War of the... Not War of the Ancients. I mean, he wrote that, but the War of the Scales? I think it was a 5-part novel that we read on this show. That was a like a ramp up to Dragonflight. The reason why we read it is because we were trying to read things chronologically in the order of the universe, and not, although that's busted and broken now. We're not going to fully get that done. Just because it takes so long to do all this and it doesn't happen. I mean, we've been I think we're in our 4th year of doing this show, 1,600 episodes. while I don't quite make an episode, I make an episode every day. I've been making an episode every day for a while now, for a few months at least, without missing a beat. But over the past year or so, I was probably down to only making about 4 episodes a week. But I've also gone through periods of the show where I was making 2-3 episodes a day when we first started the show. So kind of has all averaged out now, where we're at 1,600 episodes. We're coming near the end of our 4th year. So I made so many episodes that first year. I think I broke 1,000 that first year. That it's kind of averaged out to getting close to an episode a day. I do make an episode every day. It's just that one of those is a Patreon episode. But anyway, at that rate, averaging somewhere around an hour a day. So we put in 6 hours a week of recording on this show. That's just simply, if you only spend 6 hours a week on World of Warcraft content, it's going to be hard to catch up with 20 years of non-stop. Now, we are a little bit past the heyday. They're not dropping stuff at the same rate they used to, but there's still quite a bit. We are making progress, though. We're making our way through the material, and once we get to retail, things will speed up. The game is just very, very slow to play in Classic, and it was designed to be so. It was designed to keep people playing it sort of at the level that people were playing EverQuest at its peak, and have it with just the vanilla content make it last them 2 years. 2 years plus. And what they've done since then, and they've emulated every 2 years, is we create a new zone. That zone will give you things to explore. We've created an achievement system and made alts enticing to give you other side things to do with your time. And then we have made a massive endgame loop, which will take the I wouldn't say the casual gamer, but the devotee that actually has a job and a family and responsibilities. All they'll have time to do is stay abreast of the latest whatever pack of dailies or world quests or mythics, whatever it is that you have to run to stay at least marginally at that item level top tier. You'll have little time to do anything else. So they've they've kept the time commitment necessary. Alright, so I guess we haven't even been in here yet. But if you don't fight the Night Elves, you can come back and talk to Lo Atu. Same, we've done this quest already.
Greetings, adventurer. Those sentinels over there have allowed me to share their camp as long as I promise no trouble will follow. I am sure you can appreciate the need for diplomacy while here, yes? I am here investigating disturbances to the land, and since it aids their cause also, they have agreed that my presence here could only aid the tenuous alliance between all of Azeroth's races. If you wish to aid me, then I would appreciate it. But regardless, please try not to cause any trouble.
Okay. Spiritual unrest.
Long ago, the Highborn were some of the most powerful students of the arcane the Night Elves ever produced. The corruption that comes along with such studies caused much harm to Night Elf society and greatly affected all of Azeroth. As I'm sure you well know, I promised the Sentinels that I would release the spirits from their mortal bonds as I find them. If you would do the same, then I am sure I can reward you some. The spirits haunt the Shadow Song Shrine to the northeast of here.
Alright, so in short, this is we're going to kill the spirits of the Highborn. Azshara is the now ruined land of the Highborn. And he has promised these Sentinels, they're going to let him chill in his tent. The promise is that he's going to try to free those Sentinels, those Highborn.
Ancestors.
And a land filled with hatred.
The Satyr, a disfigured evil aspect of the Night Elves, now infect the sacred lands once traveled by Cenarius. I cannot speak for the Night Elves when it comes to all the atrocities those demonic creatures have committed, but I have sworn an oath to the Earth Mother to aid the elves in ridding the land of such a nuisance. I am sure you would prove yourself if you aided me in purging them. Northeast of here you can find the Haldar clan. Return to me after you've tested yourself against their power.
Okay. So we know from doing this on Alliance that this is a bit of a pill to complete this quest line here. But it'll be doable. We're not going to get any rewards from it. The actual killing of these Highborn apparitions, that's fine. Now, what's the story of the Highborn? For those of you that are behind on your lore mastering, I'm sure most of you all know this, but Azshara here is the land when the world was a Pangea, before there was a Great Sea, before there was a Maelstrom. Azshara was basically the seat of power of the most powerful empire, which was the High Elf Empire. Really, the Night Elf Empire, however you want to think of it, they're all one and the same. The main Elf Empire, which also you could even take deeper, red string it deeper, and think of them as an offshoot of the Troll Empire, the original Troll Empire that spanned all of Azeroth. The Night Elves were an offshoot of that. But they really, really defeated a lot of the Trolls, became the most powerful source in the land, and a big part of that was because they found the Well of Eternity, and they used that well to gain arcane power. It also became a source of corruption because it was the arcane, for whatever reason. The Fel and the arcane, which I believe are antagonistic forces on the Great Wheel of Power, the wheel of elements that shapes and provides conflict. It provides dynamic tension among this universe that we love to live in. And it also draws the Burning Crusade. At least ostensibly that's how it was in the beginning. Really what draws the Burning Crusade, what draws Sargeras to worlds, is if they have a world soul, a dormant world soul, and supposedly Azeroth does. Quite a powerful one at that. So, this is a Lichling. That's the other thing we need. A Lichling. I think it's kind of a funny name. Oh, your baby Lich. But what is a Lichling? Well, a ghost. Just a different kind of ghost. A boy ghost, I guess. Maybe not even a boy. He sounds kind of boyish. Got no face. I don't know what makes something a Lichling versus just an apparition. Maybe, yeah, again, maybe gender. Okay, there are plenty of spaces to fight these guys. This quest is not the problem. So anyway, that well was a huge indicator that there was a lot of arcane energy on Azeroth. At face value, if you start looking at the evolution of lore, you could say, and thus that Azeroth had quite a world soul, and that I believe is still canon. And so Sargeras wanted to take it down. He found it. He was drawn to it, and he wanted to, but because it's essentially space. Space is the void or whatever around each world, and it's so, he might know of the existence of this because he's tapped into that energy, but somehow he either didn't physically know where Azeroth was, or it was just too prohibitively far away for him to actually get to. But for whatever reason, or maybe it's almost a separate dimension, for whatever reason, he needed a way to get to Azeroth. He always has. So I'm not sure exactly what the story is for that, unless it's a matter of space, because you have a couple other things that spin out from that. But before we get into or if we even do get into the ideas that come with the Burning Crusade and the Draenei and beyond, what you had ultimately was Sargeras saw this Well of Eternity as a way to sort of make a portal and get himself and his armies through. If they could just widen it, they could just make it bigger. And that's the conceit that the World of Warcraft universe and the Warcraft universe is built on. Alright, Lichlings are dead, we just need one more apparition. So, that led to the War of the Ancients, where various factions of Night Elves realized that there was a demonic, as we could think of them as demons, that's basically what Sargeras is bringing to the picture here, realized that there was a demonic possession happening. It was turning some Night Elves into satyrs. It was corrupting Queen Azshara. She was fully engrossed in the idea of being the right hand, or maybe even the female matriarchal leader, puppet leader of Sargeras, that she was tricked into thinking so, or whether she had just astounding levels of hubris, is I guess slightly subject to interpretation. Here we have, with an aside, this is the quest we hate. I hate this quest. Hate it. You need to kill the 3 types of satyrs. You need 6 Haldar satyrs, 2 Haldar tricksters, and 2 Haldar fellsworn. We will have plenty of each. There are actually usually more tricksters and fellsworn than there are satyrs. And you will I think last time we had to clear every single satyr out 3 times in order to get 6 Haldar satyrs. Maybe we'll get a little... I think last time, though, when we came, there was only 1 Haldar satyr on the scene. These guys attack very slow for being dagger wielders. But I see 1 Haldar satyr right there. So that's the key. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. We're just going to kill all of the satyrs that we see. And start that respawn timer from happening. It's a very small pool. This is also what's killing me about the Blasted Lands, and I'll get into that rant most likely later. If not today, I will definitely rant about it on the next episode. But, so, what happens here in what is now Azshara, what used to be the seat of the Night... Well, it was also Azshara back then too, but it's the seat of the Night Elf Empire. And the queen's name was Azshara, and the capital's name was Azshara. And what happened was that eventually they did succeed in... Sargeras succeeded in widening the portal enough to send his lieutenants through and kill Jaden and Archmage. And they have their own story. And the relationship to where they came from, a previously conquered world, the world of the Eridar. But in order to... if Sargeras was to make it, well, he had done this countless times before. He is a known world destroyer. So if Sargeras made it onto the scene, he was going to destroy the world. And Azeroth's ability to somehow keep Sargeras off of its jock there is why we still have a world. Why he has never been able to physically come there, I'm not 100%. Here we have a second satyr. That's good. We're already ahead of where we were with the Alliance. But what happened was destruction. Basically the dragons. There were the ancients, the 5 main dragons that we read about in the War of the Scales. The prime 5 dragons. They banded together along with demigods and the mortals, and some heroes. There were earthen involved. There were all of the races, Tauren, and even some time travelers that got together and had one of the most epic battles, probably the most epic of all time. And they managed to not only stop... I believe now also Deathwing is involved in all of this. So there's it's a pretty epic who's who showdown. It's kind of like that battle in Elden Ring when you have like every NPC and you're going up against the world beater. It's one of those kind of sitches. So everybody fought, and Azshara was defeated, both the land, the continent, and the queen. It's all taken down, and it created a massive explosion. It ripped the world asunder. There's another book, if you read Dungeons and Dragons, Dragonlance world in Dungeons and Dragons is it's placed in a universe where there was a giant floating city ordained by the gods named Istar, and eventually the hubris of the great priest of Istar and the blasphemy and kind of moral degeneracy of the leaders of the church, the leaders of the highest representatives of that god, led to the gods forsaking the land of Krynn, and thus all divine magic was removed, including the magic that was maintaining this giant floating city. That city then crashed and had all the effects that you would expect a full-on meteor crashing into Earth. You know, a meteor the size of Texas or whatever hitting without having to break up in the atmosphere. And it sundered the world. It created a giant maelstrom in the seas. It did a lot of the same things. This is a trope that's as old as the Bible, and it is, and even, you know, older, with indigenous traditions everywhere. The Great Flood traditions. There's just it's the Great Destruction that shaped the history of this world, and the world of Warcraft. It's not a coincidence that essentially every single people on Earth has some narrative constructed around a great destruction that reshaped and reset the table for Earth and in a way, brings in a time of modern humanity. In this case, modern wowity. And it's partly because it's a good narrative structure, and really, I think people get religion twisted, in my humble opinion, that the Bible, or the Quran, or the Torah, or whatever your particular holy book is about, you know, fixed things that must be taken at, you know, face value. I always have a sort of tough time with people that are literalists of biblical texts, because these texts themselves often cite the fallibility of man, and yet were written, organized, compiled, published, set out by a man-selected group of men. Now, of course, if you are Catholic or a few other, you know, a couple other religions, you don't believe they were man-selected, so that's part of it. They were ordained by God. However, that's a slippery slope, and I'm not Catholic, so I can't defend that argument. To me, what the Bible and all of these holy books are stories. They are a way of getting the message of the religion across, getting the voice of God across, getting all of that through narrative, because as human beings, narrative is the strongest tool that we have. We are creatures of story. We are creatures of you know, we like a lot of things. A lot of things just seem to make sense to us. We like an arc because life is an arc. We talked about this in the last episode where I got a little emo and talked about, you know, as we change, as I improve in whatever one area of my life, I will always seem to find blind spots and new, you know, on this path to self-actualization. It's a one step forward, not even a two step forward, one step back. I hope it's that, but it's probably one step forward, one step back most of the time, as new flaws emerge and new, you know. But maybe it's just like, I don't know if any of you guys have watched Severance, but how they're constantly trying to sort those little files and find I guess they were deleting memories or whatever, or just unlocking the importance of certain memories. But it's kind of like that. I think maybe, hopefully it's like that. Maybe it's just the deeper we go, the more, you know, the more we can peel back the layers of the onion. And maybe it is all, you know, it's not new flaws, it's additional flaws that have always existed, and they, as you peel back the layers of the onion, you can get at them more. So maybe there is a chance that one day, you know, you can be a pretty solid individual. I don't know. I don't think I know. We'll see one day, right? Well, it'll either happen or it'll never happen. But to bring it all back into the world of Warcraft here, that's the narrative structure that we chose, and we're standing right in it. So from a lore perspective, this is really cool because this is where that explosion happened. This bay right here is where the world was sundered, and it's why this zone is so cool, and that's why we're fighting the satyrs and the highborns, because the satyrs are the demonic remnants. These Haldar, I guess, I don't know. No, the Haldar is just like a tribe of satyr. They're not particularly important. But in and of themselves. But I guess now it's curious to know, do they have the same kind of... Oh, I'm glad I didn't get hit by that curse. That's a weird curse, that curse of mending. It is a curse that it's a curse that makes it to where you heal the mobs when you hit them. Look at this little guy over here. I'm just trying to keep my eye open, like I said, for those satyrs. We've cleared everyone once. We're now working on clearing the second time. And we have 4 of the 6 satyrs. This is why... Now, it's nice talking to you guys. And that's really the way to play classic WoW. Which is there is something to be said about that, positive and negative, to play a game where it's best to play if you are able to multitask, or to have a conversation or whatever, to listen to music, to watch a show. Like, so if you want that kind of game, and that's cathartic. It's nice to sometimes just, end of a work day or whatever, just lay back and grind. Play the world of Warcraft. But retail is more engaging, and you need both. You need both. And the good thing I like about retail is you can get into that kind of vibe with retail too. Whereas it's almost always the vibe, unless you're doing like PvP or a boss fight in a higher level dungeon or raid. That's what all of Warcraft Classic is. It is designed... There's a game I used to play, I can't remember what it's called. Played it a few times in like... I mean, before... Like, I'm talking flip phone days, when like Facebook was one of the main sources of video games that you could have. Like if you wanted a casual game, where you could just go on your computer and go on Facebook and play. There were certain Facebook games on the computer that were fun. I remember when Dragon Age came out, or Dragon Age 2 was about to come out, there was this Facebook Dragon Age game that was really fun. I used to play. But there was another one that was like a weird 2D overhead World of Warcraft. And you went from spot to spot, you fought little I wish I could remember what it was called. But to move from place to place, you used energy, and that energy is time-gated. That's how the game kept you playing. You could only do a certain amount of things with each, over time. But it was essentially World of Warcraft if you didn't even really have a sprite to represent your character. It was like overhead, you just did the thing from place to place, and it cost you energy to do that. But you didn't have, like, you got equipment and gear and fought mobs. If any of you know what that game is, what a game like that is called, and if it could still play it, I'd be tempted to go pop it on and see. I don't think you can play most games like that anymore. Like, I'm pretty sure that Dragon Age 2 game, which I had a ton of fun with, is defunct. I don't think you can play it. Or there was that farm game everybody played, Farmville or something like that. That was very popular. Candy Crush. I can remember playing a lot of Candy Crush on my PC back when it first came out, before every game just became a Candy Crush clone, and I'm on hiatus from that right now. I did play one Candy Crush clone, Gardenscape, for a long time, so shout out to that game. It's pretty fun. But it just becomes, how long can you match 3, for? It's not like Tetris where it gets faster and faster. Alright, so we are now starting clearing the zone round 3. So on average, we've gotten 2 satyrs per clear. Here's a couple more. And that's all you do, is you just have to keep clearing them, because you just hope when they respawn, they're one of those things that you need. So that's what I hate. You need 6 of the satyrs, yet that is the rarest type to spawn. So I have no idea what kind of drugs were being consumed, there's one, by the people that made this quest, but it is absolutely insane. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this just for a little DPS boost. Like, I truly... This will be our 5th one at least. I don't know. I have no idea. Now we could probably just wait for the respawn on round 3 here. You might get lucky and be able to do this with just 1 clear and then 1 batch of respawn. Like, I think one of the times I came up there was like 4. So if you can get like 4, these guys spawn on your first come up, then you have a solid chance of... Yeah, they're not even respawned up here yet. Now we just wait for the respawns. Even me slowly, not even using a full rotation, it's still... Yes, there's one right there. This is our last one. Okay, so it took us about 30 minutes to do these 2 quests and to travel here. That's not too bad. What did I just trigger? Oh, Mark of the Chosen. I think that was the first time it triggered this entire grind. But that's that brings us to Azshara. So we start Azshara by looking from the Horde perspective, where we promise the Night Elves will help in their journey, which is that this land is broken, even though it's beautiful. I do find that kind of ironic. We see some truly messed up, broken, destroyed lands in Azeroth, but Azshara is gorgeous, and it's the site of the most destructive thing. You would think this would be a blasted land or whatever. Nope. It's just a... Now, I actually think when they change this zone for Classic and give it tons of cool quest lines and make it more fun to actually be in, they actually make the zone a lot uglier. And that's what goblins do, I guess. I guess that's true to form, but there's something nice and pretty about the simplicity of Azshara. The fall colors. I don't know who made these roads and what they're for. Like, the roads survived these 10,000 years? That wouldn't happen. They're not overgrown. And yet no one really travels here, so there's a little sketchiness here about that. I forgot to put these pickup quests on my to-do list, so... Oopsie. Alright.
The winds guide you.
Okay, so we picked up spiritual... We gotta go back over here. We picked up these 2, and we are going to turn them in now. Okay, so we did a pickup, and then we're gonna turn in. Perfect.
Well done, adventurer. Thank you for your help. The spirits are at peace, and the threats that their desire for the arcane draw have been lessened.
50 silver.
I am sure that both sides of the conflict that ravishes Azeroth will see you are above.
So not too shabby. 400 XP, 420.
Well done, adventurer.
70.
I see you're not only skilled but cunning. To defeat such creatures is a testament to your loyalty to the tenets of the Earth Mother, even if you do not recognize her as your own deity. She is in all things on this planet and beyond. Her eyes, one dark and one light, travel across the skies, always gazing down upon us. Please, take this small amount of coin in appreciation for what you have done.
And that's actually cool, that whole one dark, one light. I talk about that more on the Alliance episode and how it ties into the folk and fairy tale story of the Eyes of the Earth Mother, and the kind of that one line of dialogue maybe in itself. This is why we do this show, because that one line of dialogue at completion of some random pointless quest in Azshara, one of the most random pointless zones in the game, that one line of dialogue about the Eyes of the Earth Mother, one light, one dark, spawned a whole concept of lore that maybe will trickle down into other games, because we're pretty far in. We're about, well, we're more than 3/4 of the way into this game. And it is like, I mean, we're probably like, I mean, what do we have left to do? Azshara, we have 2 zones in Goro Crater Blasted Lands. After Azshara, we'll be halfway through this one. We have 7 zones left, and then, you know, a few raids and dungeons. Out of, I don't know how many total there are. 8 tiers for each. There maybe 40 zones. So we're at least 70. Yeah, we're probably 80% of the way through the game. Let's say that. So 80% of the way through the game. That's the first we hear of this one light, one dark thing, and someone wrote an entire story about it, about what that means, how it ties to the like oral tradition of the Tauren. All right, so here we have Curl, food and drink vendor. He sells exactly that in case we need water, as requesting here. You have Agtor Bloodfist.
So the days we've spent here in Azshara are not among our best and most glorious, but we are still young and blood still courses through our veins. We shall find victory here. It is only a matter of time.
He doesn't say that. He says, Belgrim sent us here from Orgrimmar to aid him in an unwise alliance. But if his gamble pays off, then it will be to the great benefit of all the Horde. Too many orcs have already perished because of his desire to please women, but he still commands us, and our honor dictates we make the best of the situation. So, Belgrim sent us. So what is his unwise alliance? Is this like a... I'm not sure. Who is Belgrim allying with? Who is this all for? What's the benefit? Like, we need more, but we're going to read Betrayed. We're going to do that quest in Orgrimmar. His Jediga, she is maybe the woman?
I'm not here because of honor, adventurer. I'm here because of one orc's pride. If I had not rejected Belgrim's offers, then I'm sure I'd still be in Orgrimmar taking care of real business. His desire for women is not unknown to many of the female warriors in Durotar, but that doesn't stop him from being his charming self. He's lucky he didn't pursue his desire for me much longer, though. He'd be short more than just the digits on his hands.
Alright, so this is maybe Jediga's warband, and Belgrim, I guess, sent them... This is like being sent into Siberia or whatever. They sent there because she rejected his advances. Belgrim being one of the top officers in the Horde under Thrall. Interesting. Stealing knowledge.
I admit, adventurer. I've made the most of my situation in Azshara. Belgrim's punishment has had its share of benefits. Before I left, I did some research, and you would be surprised how many valuable items are lying around. I'll tell you more about my deals, and even give you a cut of the profits, if you help me gather some of them. There are tablets throughout the ruins of Eldarath to the east that I need. All 4 are named after highborn wizards. Get them for me, and we'll talk some more.
Alright, so that is going to eventually send us around. This is, what was it called? Stealing knowledge. We will do this one in a mo. And then there's also Hagrim Bloodfist. Don't know who he's tied to. And we have Gruul Darkblade here, who is our vendor who can sell this stuff. I'm not going to wear this 20 stam leather. I don't care about it. I don't need that. I will keep the Moonberry juice. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with these. Okay, we can make heavy mage weave bandages. We got a butt ton of them. So I guess we got those from killing those satyrs. We got a lot of them. And then we'll just hope that we get... let's see, yeah. We are at 290, so I'm pretty sure we could get heavy rune cloth. I'm trying to remember where we go. We have to go to Arathi for that, so at some point we will pop through Arathi, but when it's convenient in our life. There's no... I'll actually probably wait till that we're at least 300 and figure that out, but maybe one time when we're just passing through the area. I don't know what would make us pass through, but maybe, I don't know. There's probably something that sends us around there, some of these endgame type world-trotting, globe-trotting things. We're going to get to that part of our life soon. Like I said, after this we will have Ungoro Crater, which is a nice self-contained zone, and then Blasted Lands, which I can't tell you that much more about it. Again, I'll rant a little bit more about that later, but it is essentially half of the zone is setting up a weird buff system, and the other half is just racking your... It is a quest line that I think is cool. So I'm still slogging through the half that is... that is quests, that is the buffs, I mean. it is, you know, they are what they are. It is what it is. I actually had, so that is super, super, super annoying to do the quests in that area for the buffs. I don't think he has anything cool for sale. No, just like some generic, in case your weapon broke, I guess, or whatever, and you wanted to buy a gray to get you through in an emergency. Let's also go open up the flight path, because that's the whole reason why we couldn't fly here in the first place. This is Chrome.
Where would you like to fly to?
So we now have opened up that flight path. Azshara, for whatever reason, they do make it essential. Alright, so we can get these tablets right here to open up that line. But before we do that, I actually think let's just bust out the Kim Jail, because this is a standalone storyline also. Let's go bust that out. I'm not going to do the repeatable meeting with the master thing yet, because that's actually part of the... what time are we at? 5. We're about halfway through the episode. That's actually part of her quest after we get these. So we're going to get these first. We're going to go take care of this, because why not? That'll get us through the top of that. And then we'll fight. We'll get these tablets. We've done here. This is where we're going to go fight Blood Elves, because Blood Elves are not technically part of the Alliance. So I think that was also another reason why Cataclysm became so necessary, because, I mean, you can fight whatever, you just have to spin the yarn a little differently, but it doesn't make sense for you to go kill Blood Elves for Kim Jail over here. It doesn't make as much sense once the Blood Elves are your allies, so you need to paint one of two pictures. You either need to modify the questing in the zone to where you're not killing the Blood Elves, or, same thing, you need to modify the questing in the zone to make it to where you are, but these Blood Elves are not like Blood Elves. This is a naughty band of Blood Elves. Timbermaw Hold, still to this day, I don't think anything happens in Timbermaw Hold, unless like Season of Discovery or something like that, or Classic Plus that they talk about, which is whatever. I don't know if I would ever get into that. Those are all things that are like vanity, unless there was like a weird Turtle WoW, which I would consider playing Turtle WoW. That's a future thing. I would maybe consider doing Turtle WoW on a Patreon, or I think I'm maybe gonna take the Patreon stuff I made and either release it for free, because it doesn't get a lot of traction, and I could maybe just drop it for free. And maybe I just make the Patreon like you get early access to these videos or something like that. And I'll just drop it like 6 months or a year later. I'll drop the back content like in batches of 50, which is about a year's content for me. Because I've been doing that for a little bit more than a year, and I'm on just finished 50 something episodes. If you're interested in that, I cover Assassin's Creed 2, those Patreon episodes, and I mean Assassin's Creed, the whole universe, just like we do here. It's a little tighter and more compact because the universe and games are not so sprawling, and they did come out in a very defined order. So there's a lot less jockeying around, and there's a lot less side content, and so it's a little cleaner. The game is definitely a lot more mature rated. Alright, here's Kim Jail.
Kim Jail indeed. Do you know what Kim Jail means to the Blood Elves, adventurer? Little rat. Or something like that. The big bullies. They hired me to help them scout the area, looking for some sort of lost treasures. Of course I jumped aboard the moment they said treasure, and the amount they were willing to pay, but of course they turned on me and tried to kill me. Me goes to show you, you can't trust a Blood Elf. The problem is, they still have my equipment, and I can't get it back. Help me out?
Sure. So this is where he kind of jobs you a little bit. You can go get his equipment for him, but you get very little for this. You get 8 silver, and it's a level 53 quest. So for a frame of reference, we just completed a 47 quest for 70 silver. So he also gives you 3 bombs, but he will open up a second quest. That's really what comes out of it. All right, so you're looking around for where these boxes spawn. Same exact quest, nothing new so far. We did this one on Alliance as well. The chests spawn randomly throughout this little area. The Blood Elves do aggro from a pretty solid distance. as you can see. So it's cut. That part has its annoyances. I think I should probably interrupt their spells. And then I'll be able... Oh no. Now that... Okay, so good to know. They're gonna make me pay if I... Okay, they put a hot on themselves. What a combo of powers they have. They have full-on Fire Mage powers with also... There you go, look at that. With hots and the Reclaimer. Hots and full heals. That's annoying. Okay, so... Actually, I will not... Alright, what I'm up here really for... That's a Surveyor. Let's see what the Surveyor's magic is all about. I'm just looking for these little boxes. I don't want to. We don't have to kill these guys right now. I actually don't think there's ever a spot where we have to kill them. Ooh. Oh no. Yikes. Okay. Now it's since I drew that second one. Now it is time to drop my totems. These guys, so this is a big step up from what we were just fighting. Okay, we did get them. Alright, let's, I guess I'll go with you. I mean, we could go with some of our buff food that we have. What do we got? I do have these Wind Blossom berries. That might be it. That's all I really have. Yeah. That's a pretty small stack, so I'll eat them. Wind Blossom berries. Alright, so looking around, there's a solid chest right there, so I'll go peek at that. Do not see a box of loot available. We need... Oh, there's one right there. So we'll have to go over there. There are easier ways. I'm kind of being big-headed doing this way. Okay, so we're going to get this one. You're just... As you can see here, Questy's... Sometimes Questy's good, sometimes it's bad. Like, in the Blasted Lands, Questy's actual... like, map of the drops is terrible. It's terrible. It misses entire zones where the mobs can spawn. Carry mana potion.
I'm out of range.
Take that. See what we can get here. Okay, a bunch of crap. Where's that chest? Like I said, or not chest, box. There it is. So let's see who we have to fight to get that box. Probably this guy. Well, I mean, and now I have to just take these fireballs to the face because I can get caught with my pants down if I interrupt the fireball, and then they'll bust a heal on themselves. Yeah, see? Oh no, they resisted! Well, that's terrible. Terrible. They use that hot on themselves. Okay, so guess that's what I'm utilizing my mana for. I have a feeling we're gonna have to fight both those people for this. So I might as well just go pull them right now. Annoying. Ooh, that was nice. I had to do it because that one was going to heal that one. I heard her channeling it. That reclaimer was going to heal that reclaimer. Now the downside though, I killed that. Yeah, this guy's... Dang it. I did, no, that's the downside of using the fire totem. It just, Can't help itself. Alright, so here's our first chance at either finding the Whizzle Goober, the Stuffed Chicken, the Scope, or the Compass. And all we got was banana bread. Love it. Alright, so just peek and see. Is there any other chests around here on this part of the mountain? It's probably the worst spot we could have gone to look for them. Plenty of places to go. Okay, I'm kind of stuck. Mountain Silver Sage, I guess. I don't know what you need these things for. Okay, there we go. I typically like to go down here. If you stay down on the ground, you kill a lot. It's a lot easier to get cured ham steak. It's a lot easier to get cured ham steak, which is that's what I wanted to let you guys know. If you're really into soft banana bread, the side of cured ham steak, got you covered. Great, we pulled both of these guys? What the heck? Okay, so now we're gonna fight these two, just because we're in their territory. Why not? These are the surveyors, which I think seem a little bit... Oops. Like that is just bad. Anyway, these guys seem a little bit less... yeah, they do that little burst of fire, which does seem to do some decent damage, but kind of like a fire nova. All right, is there a box down here? Don't see one. I think one can sometimes spawn on this side too. Yep, right here. Let's see what we got out of this. Okay, this time we did get Kimjail's scope. That's it. Okay. Oh, I forgot to actually mark that we picked up this quest, Kimjail Indeed. Let's go over there and do that. Kimjail Indeed. Pick that one up. Alright, so let's see. We're just scanning the chests. Yeah, I find that these things just aggro from so far away. They seem to be extra aggro. We got all the rest of the three from one. We got the Kimjail's Compass, Kimjail's Stuffed Chicken, and the Whizzle Goober. Boom, boom. So, you just don't know, I guess. I guess the box always has a chance to spawn all the things. I've gotten 2 out of 1 many, many times. I think this is the 4th time I'm doing this quest. Over the past, couple months. And I think every time I've gotten a double 2 for 1 at least once. Or just once. I think that's the first time I got a triple. So I wonder if a quadruple is possible. Could you get lucky and just loot 1 box and you get the whole quest done in one go? Imagine doing that the first time. You just think that's just how this quest goes. You just go, you loot 1 box and you leave. Easiest quest ever. That poor soul. I thought they were trying to figure out how to climb the mountain. It is annoying figuring it out. You have to look for like this little weird steep path. I think we went to the wrong side. Now I'm the poor soul. Yeah, I went to the... Look at this poor soul. I say as I walk the entire circumference of the mountain because I'm a dum-dum. Alright, he's going to give us a second quest, which, this is good. We're kind of getting some of the little one-shotters out of the way. Knocked out. Just kind of do a couple things. Which is really what all Azshara has to offer.
Interesting.
Those stinking blood elves. I tell you, if I was as strong as you are, I'd go down there and teach them a thing or two myself, but I'll have to settle with paying you to take care of them for me.
Haha, you got damn good, didn't you? This is great! That'll teach those blood elves to betray their partners. Especially someone as loyal as a goblin merchant. Bah, blood elves. Well, the least I can do for you is pay you for your time. Just like I said I would. Here you go. Those should be useful. What? What? That wasn't good enough for you? You know how expensive those explosives are. They sell for... Oh, never mind. Fine. You want to make some real money? Because that's how business is done. You prove you're a valuable employee, and then you're rewarded adequately after you stick it out some. If you're a valuable employee, then hit the ruins of Eldorath and find me some rune that them blood elves were looking for. The Naga apparently have it in their possession.
All right, so this one's a little tricky. So first of all, we have both of these guys done. Or, I mean, not both. We have Kimjail indeed done, and we're picking up Kimjail's missing equipment. This quest can be frustrating. It's not too hard. So if you look, the map shows that it can be picked up from all of the Naga, but in my experience, only the ones on the beach actually drop it. I don't believe that type of thing normally because I find it hard. See, this is a different Seder, the Lagashi, a different tribe. I find it hard to imagine that that they can code the loot tables for a mob differently based on their location. But it's not impossible. It would just require those mobs to have a different, like, ID. Last time I did this quest, I think when we did it with the Alliance, we killed a ton of them in there, had 0 luck. Oh yeah, we're friends with these guys. We don't have to observe. We don't have to. This is our good Timber Mall. This is one of the few other benefits in the game is you can walk through this small portion of Azshara with impunity if you manage to get your rep up with the Timber Mall. But we killed probably at least 20 or 30, no luck, and then on the like second or third kill of killing them on the beach, they were there. It looks like you can get it from down there as well. I've never tried that. I don't know why anybody would unless you had picked up the quest and then did some other things that were going to get this Stormers and Rumblers. But right now we'll get those runes for her. And now it's a little different this time. Instead of getting the rubbings from the 4 big areas, you're going to look for specific, like, rune tablets sticking out of the ground. Now we'll fight the Naga if we have to, but it's not going to be our goal. See, they'll look like this. This is the tablet of Markree. First one, it's a green one. I think each one's a different color. They can spawn all over in different spots. You're just looking. It is, I think, the sirens can technically drop. There's a yellow one, the tablet of Sail High. Mobs are a little lower, so they should not aggro as much as those blood elves were aggroing. Okay. So we already have 2 of the 4. These guys don't even have a chance. So it does, there is a pinkish one, purple. This is the tablet of Beth Amara. So we already have 3. And now we've got to look for the last tablet. This is the temple of Zin, whatever. Thought I saw one. There we go. Guess not. There's a lingering highborn. Cool. Okay, gotta find. Oh, there is our last place, the tablet of Sail High. Oh no, we already have that one. The yellow one. We need the tablet of. Looking for the tablet of Jinyael. I want to go in that temple particularly. So yeah, it looks like those things still appear as clickable things on your map, those other tablets, even after you get that kind. But yeah, as you can see, they appear everywhere, all over this little rune area. There it is, Tablet of Jinyael. I don't know, is that a bluish one? It seems, yeah, like some cracks of blue, but...
Inventory is full.
Oh, great. I guess I'll throw out this truffle. We're gonna need to throw out... Okay, so we have our 4 tablets. I guess I'm gonna dump my fine aged cheddar as well, because we're gonna need some rune to come. Oh, someone's complaining about the blasted lands. And that's why. It's because they said, all I want is 2 cerebral cortex fluids for tonight. That's freaking why. It's everybody wants that stupid buff. Also, you can only hold 1. It's so annoying because all people are always farming, and it just always seems like whatever I'm farming, that's what someone else is farming at that moment in time. It's so obnoxious. I cannot. I mean, I've spent like, I think over a week. I just can't make myself do more than 1 quest a day there because it's just so freaking annoying. Alright, so the reason why we're killing these guys is one of them will have some rune. Or kill Jaden. That thing. Physical damage. It's magic. I don't think we can... I'll get rid of my banana bread. I don't think we can remove magic on this character. Yeah, I wish you could... I feel like if you can purge beneficial magical effects, you should be able to purge negative ones as well. And that's one of the things that always irks me. Clearly, the shaman understands the ability on how to kind of unweave magic from others. No! You stupid clam. Bane of my existence. I'm gonna make a guild name when we make retail, and it's gonna be something about clams. I'm gonna workshop this. I'm gonna brainstorm it. I spent a large portion of my life, like the Venn diagram of my life, of like time spent thinking about other things, or like at least a pie chart, versus time spent thinking about how much this game needs a clam opening mod. Is probably unhealthy. She's a siren, but apparently what sirens mostly do is shank you. Deviant Fish is how I purchased my first mount. I mean, that's cool. They had a hot on them, so I decided to take that hot away from them. You dirty rat. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this to get that last thing open. I don't want this. So much of this stuff is trash. Like these mana potions, these just plain old boring mana potions. I don't want that. We also have some, excuse me, plain old boring potions. I don't want that. Okay. Excusez-moi. Alright, so far, so not good. We've killed like 4 or so of them, and we're still not here. Could drop some totems, but whatever. Inappropriate acts in the backup org is how I got my mount, says someone in my guild. Yikes. This person says why in the back. Because I'm shy. Alrighty. So after we do this, let's see. It depends on how long it takes us. If we have like terrible RNG, this could take us the rest of the Let's assume we get it in a couple kills. Go turn into him, go turn into her. We can at least do the portion where we do the master and the return trip. And I think we could Hearth to Orgrimmar. And we'll kind of see where time is if we do the Orgrimmar part now, or if that's just where we log for the episode. You dirty rats. Okay. But yeah, we're making good progress. I think the next episode will have us traveling to the different capitals, and then we'll come back here, turn those in. I don't remember what the betrayed thing does. Take care of that, and maybe move out and start working our way through here. Maybe some fishing, maybe not. I do think we should probably wrap fishing up. When we're in Orgrimmar, we gotta buy some lures. We're gonna need to wrap fishing up. We might as well just fully wrap it up and get it to 300 on this character. We really should just take an episode and do that with both. And then we'll have a third episode where we're going to need to work on traveling to Eastern Plaguelands. You know what? Maybe before we travel to Undercity and all that stuff, maybe we should go pick this quest up before we go turn in Stealing Knowledge, before we do all that. Maybe it is better. Because then when we're traveling the world, when we're traveling the Thunderbird, when we're traveling to Undercity, we'll be right there. That's actually a good idea. Let's do that. Let's clear the stuff in the zone first. Me, big brain. And that might be like a little... There we go. We got it. Okay. So we will go turn this into Kim Jong-un. Maybe we can get a path up here. Maybe. We're gonna roll the bones and see. Where are we at? Record time? Yeah, so we got about 20-ish minutes left of time. That's a pretty good amount of time. We will be able to turn that in. We'll be able to turn that in. We will at least do the Kim Jail part. Kim Jail. We'll do that. That all combined should take us maybe 10 minutes. We'll then work our way down here to the Crew Under Fire and maybe bust out Crew Under Fire. And then we will water walk our way along to the Duke Hydraxis part where we will start. We'll pick up Poisoned. I don't know if we'll do that on this episode. We're going to look at time. But we will... That's kind of the next path. And then we'll do our fishing. Oh, no, we won't do our fishing. We will do our fishing when we turn in. So we'll skip fishing. So this is going to take us a few minutes. So I don't know... Yeah, we are going to see. Can I get up there? I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe? Probably not. We're going to have to come down to do the pools from the Undersea. We have a couple little quests that are going to tie us out. I don't see a path. So I might have just wasted our time. Shit. I thought to myself, maybe we can do it. Maybe I can find a path up here, but this is the downside of Azshara. Trying to find a way back up once you've gone down. It's like an existential life situation. How do you lift yourself back up when you've gone so far down? Azshara. Psychological conundrums in pixelated form. And then let's throw... Oh, here's one way. I knew there was... I had a... Well, I didn't know. I had a strong feeling there was a north path out. It's right by this orifice here on the land. Alright, so Kim J will be done with us. And now we're going to walk around the zone. Actually, you know what we could do? We could just head down there and walk it this way. And... No, but then we're going to have to... It's hard to get back up from her, so no. We're going to walk down there and turn that in. Then walk down there and go to turn that one in. We're going to do all that. Do I have any buffs for when we fight the waves upon waves of guys? No, but I do have these frag grenades. We could use those. Because remember, that last wave is a doozy. Okay. Plus, when we go pick up that other quest, we can sell, so I can get rid of some stuff, or that, and we can get rid of all of these tablets. I wonder how much a butt ugly orc shaman can rake in. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know if we ever have to kill the Legashi, if that's part of a different quest line. Don't know. Alright, so we have completed a little mini quest hub. This one's done.
Yo.
Well, Gleekensoul, where's the room? You're a good employee, right? You're here to help? Don't make me think twice about paying you what we agreed upon. What? Oh, we didn't agree on anything? Oh, great. Then take your time. Just know that it'll be a lot less if you take a long time.
Ha ha! Wonderful! I'll be sure to find out what this is for and why Magus Rimtori, she's the cow that hired me, wanted it. Ha! I got you now, stinking blood elves. Kim Jail! Ha! I'll teach them who the rats are. You did good, adventurer. Thanks a bundle. Here, take this coin and be off with you. I've got some things to figure out.
And I think it's funny, I mentioned this the last time we did it too, that he is referring to the female blood elf lady that hired him as a stinking cow. So that is another example of, I think, something that wouldn't get written in the modern era. There's a few things that are definitely not the way they would write retail now. And you know, Warcraft is politicized. Everyone that plays it, rather, is politicized. And of course, we are all people with our own agendas, more or less. You know, with Warcraft being so big, you have a sort of, you come to a junction, and you have to ask yourself, and to a much lesser degree, I do the same thing when I make this show. What is my duty with this platform? What's my moral imperative here? Do I have a stronger moral imperative to advocate and fight for the social movements that I feel are important, whatever those may be? So, for instance, if you are a proponent of, of like liberal causes and you want to see greater acceptance among like LGBTQ type things and, and racial justice and stuff like that, then do you feel that you need this platform to promote that? Or on the other hand, if you think that woke culture is out of control and you feel like there's a value system, a traditional value system that is now being demonized and marginalized, and that it's gone too far in the other direction, do you feel that you need to use this platform to kind of push back against liberal culture? Or do you feel that since the world is so divided politically that almost everyone has an ideological bent that, especially right now, that moderatism is almost not a thing anymore because most people are leaning in one of those two directions that I just previously mentioned, then do you feel the need to create a space where there's room to be apolitical, where you can have an escape, or at least, if you don't want to think of it as an escape, because you can denigrate the idea of just putting your head in the sand and hiding from everything, but is there value in building bonds and relationships among strangers through a massively multiplayer online game, and creating the opportunity to create bonds between people who, if they actually knew about the other person's political ideological bent, would have a much lesser chance of being friends with that person in real life. And I'm not saying I have the answer to that. I'm just saying when you get this big, I think you have that question.
Strength and honor.
Stealing knowledge, turning it in. The tablets I'm having you gather should bring in a pretty copper or two to the right parties. I'll tell you who we need to deliver them to after you've found them, but I'm no fool. You'll get your share after I have proof that they've been delivered. So get to it. We don't have all day. I might have to find someone else to help me.
Perfect, adventurer, and in good condition also. These should get us a good price from all the parties concerned. Let's not dawdle around here any longer than we have to. We have some money to make.
Alright, so we did Stealing Knowledge now. That one's done. And now she's going to give us 4 quests. So these 4 quests are going to send us around to the capitals and within the zone. Delivery to Magatha.
The first tablet goes to a Tauren female, one called Magatha. She is among the elders in Thunderbluff, and is one of the proponents of the alliance between the Tauren and the Forsaken. She, more than anyone among the elders, feels the Tauren and their ways can help the Forsaken find a path back to being human. Bring her the tablet of Beth Amara. The tablet may be the link she needs in finding a way to help the Forsaken. Or so she claims.
Or so she claims. So step 1 is we're going to bring a totem to Magatha Grim Totem. Magatha Grim Totem is a villain. We know that now. So she claims she wants something to help the Forsaken, but what does she really want? Does she want to destroy the Forsaken? Does she want some evil version of that curse? Does she want to understand it so she can gain similar power? I don't know, but we're going to help her. Jess Ramon?
I have a fence in Orgrimmar. He resides in the Drag. He's difficult to nail down if you don't know where to look, but if you go looking in one of the highest buildings there, you should have no problem finding him. Do me a favor, though. Don't go shouting to all of Kalimdor that he's there and what his business is. It'd be bad for both of us. He'll give us more than a fair price for the tablet of Jinyal. I'm not sure why, but you should have seen how excited he was to hear about its whereabouts.
Now, we don't know what this guy's story is yet. We have interacted with him, I believe, a little bit in the past, but you never know with the troll. He could be doing this to help Orgrimmar and the Horde, or he could be wanting to, like, serve the evil Loa. Andron Gant.
Andron Gant is my next contact. He usually holds himself up in the Undercity, right near the Apothecarium. He was a little more loose-lipped when it came to speaking about what he wanted the tablet for. Apparently some of the mages of Undercity are looking to study some of the arcane spells the Highborn used. They think this tablet will help them. Markry was adept at summoning creatures, especially elementals. Take the tablet of Markry and return to me for your part of the reward.
Okay, so this one, at least we straight up know what this guy wants, apparently. They want to,
Go forth.
like water elemental summoning. They want to get better at that because these people were pretty good at doing it. And we know that does become part of the arcane kit. So maybe they are successful. I don't know. So Andron Gant is the next one that we're going to pick up. And the final one we're going to pick up is way down here, Archmage Xylem. It's a little higher level compared to the other guy's quests. But we're going to actually do it first.
This final tablet goes to someone very dangerous, adventurer. Heed me when I tell you that I trust this person far less than anyone else I've asked you to meet with. Archmage Xylem has a tower up in the hills overlooking Azshara. He's human, but he acts like no human I've met or killed. He exudes power, and I dare not ask him what he plans on doing with the tablet. He came to me, but told me that his bodyguard Sanath would help me get to the tower when I was ready to meet him. Look north for Sanath.
Now, I don't remember Xylem's story exactly. I know in Cataclysm and maybe later in this game, there is a whole Blue Dragon questline that comes out of this. Spoiler. And Xylem is a weird dude. I don't remember if it's connected to Xylem or not. I just know it's in this area. So it is potential that he is a Blue Dragon in disguise. I just don't fully remember, but we will get that revealed to us in the future. If not right now. And he's not saying what he's using this for. There was a time when I could ask whatever I wished from those who sought out my master. But now you need only ask and I will send you to him. So maybe he's like, maybe this is a joke and like in alpha or beta, he could like make you do a quest or make you pay him. It is upsetting to me, but I do not question his orders. I can only take enjoyment in making fun of the ridiculous clothes you wear, the pathetic look on your face. Even that bores me. Even this rambling bores me. Do you wish to see my master or not? So this is like, he could be a high elf, but he's wearing all red, so it makes me think maybe he's a blood elf. This is meeting with the master, so this is just a easy peasy. It's technically a quest off of our list. So we're getting a lot of those done today, but it's just to send you to the top of the tower. We'll do the other one when we come back. We're actually going to go meet with the master and go back and turn in some things to her. So we will do more on this tomorrow. So now I can tell you right now what we'll do is we'll have time to go run down to a crew under fire, but we will not be completing that quest today. That's where we'll start this episode tomorrow, where we will go do that, then do some traveling around the world, come back, probably wrap up those easier quests. And as we're traveling, actually, who knows what we'll do? Because as we travel around, we will also complete some of those Hydraxian Waterlords quests. So we'll kind of break it up. But yeah, you know what? I'm feeling also, this might be wrong, but I feel like this girl fights a little better than my Ret Paladin, I feel. So this is Rayan Dawnrisen and Joy Arnarath. I don't know what they're doing here. You can't interact with them. And then Xylem, Archmage Xylem, who is just a dope-looking NPC. This cool wing shoulder pads.
Light be with you.
What can I help you with, Gleekin Soul?
The Tablet of Sailhide. How long I've longed to study it. Thank you, adventurer. You may tell Jediga that she has done well. This will definitely be worth the payment she asked for.
I got 40
what
silver.
Is it? Oh yes, your payment.
61.
Of course. Take this and be off with you. I'm sure Jediga is awaiting oh so patiently for your return.
Okay, so he gives us a payment for her. Okay, so we finished the Archmage Xylem quest, and then Xylem's payment to Jediga. We're going to go drop that off too. Why the heck not? We're also, in the meantime, going to hop down. Okay. We're gonna pop down, so we're gonna do. We should not have to come back here. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe at some point, like I said, there's an end game quest that perhaps leads us out here. But for now, we're not going to be doing it anytime soon. And by end game, I mean like end game when we're doing the level 60 elite stuff to help us with get ready for raids and stuff like that and dungeons. This Ungoro Crater, like I said, straightforward. Blasted Lands, I don't know. I we'll find out that on the back end. This is called Return Trip. This is Nyril.
Greetings, miss. I am Master Xylem's apprentice, Nyril. If you have any concerns, please feel free to bring them up with the Master. I will be here to serve you when you're ready to return down to the base of the mountain.
Return trip.
I will return you to Sanat's camp now. Do not mind his bad manners. He is rude to everyone save for the Master. Perhaps he shall learn his lesson one day.
Okay, and then she just kind of bubbles you with this teleport from Azshara tower spell. I mean. And then, yeah, we're just going to be done with that. Pick that up. Pick up, drop off. So, the way that we're doing it, that could be part of it. It could just be the nature of it, but there are a lot more quests for Horde because, look, we're only 3 away, and we're going to turn one in right now. And we're only on our first episode with a lot of quests to still go. So there's a lot more when you look at the master list. It's much more Horde than it is Alliance. Although not that it's like super more time consuming because a lot of them are just go here, go back. But if this one I was expecting all along to take 3 episodes, it ended up taking us 3 episodes for the Alliance, but that was mostly because it tacked on an hour-long shorter one.
Lokta. String.
Well, what did Xylem have to say? He didn't do anything to you, did he? Cast a spell on you? Con you into doing work for him?
No problems? None at all? Well, that's something to be said. I expected him to show some sort of reluctance, or to at least betray our deal. Maybe he can be trusted after all. Well, no need to dwell on it that much. Here's your share. Thank you for your help.
Cool. Okay. So that is Xylem's payment to Jediga. Done. Perfect. Let's go ahead and sell it. This guy right here. Sell and repair.
Blood
and then, like I said, we're going to walk down to... I don't even care about that. I don't care about that. We are going to walk down to that other spot. Actually, don't even care about that. I should sell those. And that's this will be the last thing we do. So we're going to travel. We've done the whole north part. We're going to travel down to the Crew Under Fire, but we're not going to do the quest because it's a kind of a time-consuming wave. I believe it was like 6 waves when we did it last time. A repeatable wave thing for basically no reward at all. It's kind of a placeholder quest in the game. I'll talk about it when we kick off our next episode, and then we will run the coast with our water walking up to Duke Hydraxis to pick up those 2. Then we will, this is how we'll start the next episode. Then we will hearth to Orgrimmar, and in Orgrimmar we will turn in delivery to Jess Ramon, and he will give us the follow-up quest. We will also pick up the Betrayed quest line over there, and we will purchase. Actually, we're going right away. We will purchase. Fishing lures. Then we will go outside and take the portal, the Zeppelin, over to Orgrimmar, where we will do the delivery to Andron Gant. And we will pick up the Seeping Corruption quest line. We will also turn in our Orgrimmar. There's a base up there, so it was almost like there was some PvP planned for this zone too. Because there's an Alliance base somewhere up on the northern half, and here we're seeing a Horde base right there, so it's almost also like they were planning more hubs or some PvP something. This is just a half-baked, unfinished zone. So we will pick up Delivery to Andron Gant in the next half, and we will pick up Seeping Corruption. Then we'll get on the flight path, and we will fly. Actually, we can't fly. We will walk our way over to the Eastern Plaguelands from the Undercity. And after that, we will complete the first of the Duke Hydraxis things. We'll get the Eastern Plaguelands flight path, maybe the Western Plaguelands flight path at Chilwyn Point. I don't know if we have that one or not. I look here. Oh, there is no flight path at Chilwyn Point. Great. The Horde doesn't even get one of those. So we will just be straight up walking over to Eastern Plaguelands and flying out of there. Well, actually, once we do that one, we will again hearth or astral recall back to Orgrimmar, and we will then fly our way over to Thunder Bluff, turning in the Thunder Bluff quest, and then we will fly our way down. We haven't been to Silithus on this character yet, so we will fly our way, I guess, over to Ungoro Crater, and then walk to Silithus from there. All of that stuff combined, we might be able to then start working on the Silithus quest line, maybe. The killing, that's just going to depend. When all is said and done with all of that, we will then hearth back to Orgrimmar, set ourselves up to do our last portion in the land, which will be flying back here, doing the Seeping Corruption quest, which has us coming in here, and also the Betrayed quest, which I don't even remember what it has us doing. And at the end, we'll have to go back to Undercity one more time to turn in Seeping Corruption. We'll have to go back to Orgrimmar, I think, to turn in Betrayed. Excuse me. So, I still am maintaining hopes we can finish this in 3 episodes. Most likely we will, but without the fishing included. And that's okay. When we start Ungoro Crater with both of our characters, we will start by just maxing out fishing. Alright, now let's see, can we get off of this land without dying? Can I jump maybe to the water? That's really, I think, the only hope I'm going to have, if I can go here and land in the water. Okay. Not too shabby. Pretty much the exact time finishing this quest. It's pretty much where we wanted to do it. So we will come back and do this quest after the fact. This pointless, worthless, annoying quest. It's not too bad though. We'll make it work. I believe with our Ankh for Resurrection and some of the buffing up in our totems, we'll be fine. Okay, everybody, I appreciate you for joining me on this journey. We have done a lot today, made good progress, and I had fun doing it. Hopefully you had fun watching it. If you like me, thanks. If you like the show, hit the subscribe, hit that like button, leave some comments, and check me out on the Patreon as well for the Assassin's Creed experience. Thank you, everybody. We have another episode in the pipe. 5 by 5.